First tonight, 2 days after aid began entering Gaza, the United Nations says no new supplies have reached local people. About 100 lorries have crossed into the territory since Israel eased its 11-week blockade. Apart from distribution problems, correspondents say the Israelis are not yet allowing the Palestinian trucks from Gaza to come close to the border to collect aid, which is now lying on the ground in a designated security area. They say it's all very frustrating for the hungry people in Gaza who have been waiting for 11 weeks to get supplies. Well, let's move straight on because we're losing time here. The European Union has decided to review its ties with Israel because of the war in Gaza. The bloc's Foreign Affairs Chief, Kaja Kallas, described conditions in the territory as catastrophic. Israel has condemned that decision by the EU, accusing Brussels of completely misunderstanding the situation and providing encouragement to Hamas. Earlier, Britain also took action in protest at Israel's military offensive. It's paused free trade negotiations and imposed sanctions on settlers in the West Bank. Well, for more on this, let's speak now to the international affairs analyst, Dr. Marek, who joins me on the line from London. I apologize for your being kept waiting there, but as you know, I mean, you're a news person yourself now, and we're carrying a fascinating live chat there in the Oval Office between President Trump and President Ramaphosa. But let's return to the issue for which you've thankfully agreed to talk to us. What's your assessment of the international pressure that seems to be building against Israel?
Well, exactly as you state, there is no international pressure building up. It takes time. Moreover, Israel is very hard to deal with because any criticism is automatically regarded as A, anti-Semitic, B, pro-Hamas, and therefore it's virtually impossible for any normal dialogue to occur. Either one entirely agrees with Israel or one is condemned to being marginalized in their view. The net effect of this, of course, is the people in Gaza are starving to some degree. The exact level of starvation is a matter of some dispute, obviously between Israel and the UN, but that they have not having enough food is beyond question. And the problem now is what is going to happen. Israel has agreed to let some aid in, and therefore, in principle, over time, this problem should not go any further. It's the agreement that Israel let any trucks in at all, but to get it actually to the people will take some time, immensely frustrating for the Gazans concerned and for the people trying to deliver the food. But I don't think we're going to see a starvation genocide, which did appear to be vaguely on the cards some time ago.
And up to this point, it's always been felt as if Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is more bothered about his coalition partners and other issues rather than what countries around the world are saying. I mean, is that how you see it?
Yes. Unfortunately, there is this view in Israel that they can do as they like because this has been the case now for many years. There have been many UN resolutions about Israel. Israel has ignored them all. It shrugs off any criticisms, just not interested. But in the end, somehow, just recently, the criticism primarily of the EU, and there was the case of Great Britain and Canada and France, of course, this has got through. But if there's one thing above all that's persuaded Israel to change its ways, at least to some degree, is that President Donald Trump didn't even bother to turn up. He's actually now on good terms with the Arab leaders of various countries. And of course, Israel, by studying Donald Trump, has realized that they could be in the same situation as Ukraine, which incidentally also plays this game of calling everybody who remotely questions its policy pro-Russian. That in that Donald Trump went with Russia, and likewise he might simultaneously, in the same way, go with the Muslims. So that has persuaded, I think, Israel to make this move. That is the actual reason.
And briefly, would it be fair to say that there is genuine concern that's being seeded into the minds of Israelis that they are becoming more isolated, and that's something that, I mean, Israeli citizens don't like?
Some Israeli citizens know, but others seem to feel, as far as one can tell, they have a license to do as they like. However, it has, I think, been recognized in Israel overall, including by the government, that there are limits to how far they can press the Gazans in terms of depriving them of food or anything else. And this has been the major, I think, change just recently. But it is most unfortunate Israel, whose people suffered so much during World War II, is now acquiring reputation which is verging on the very country that did it so much harm, namely Nazi Germany.
Dr. Laszkiewicz, I want to thank you very much indeed. Sorry, it had to be a little bit shorter than usual. Dr. Marek Laszciewicz is an international affairs analyst who was talking to me on the line there from London.